Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy and this is Foxton Academy. If you're new here, welcome. We're so glad to have you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my upcoming fourth graders 2023-2024 homeschool curriculum. I can't believe my baby's in fourth grade. It seems like just yesterday we were doing kindergarten curriculum. Alas, here we are. All right, my friends. So let's get started. For Language Arts with Her, we are using a new curriculum this year. I am very excited to begin using Michael Clay Thompson with her. We are going to use Grammar Island. This is the first level in the Michael Clay Thompson curriculum that's not preschool. So it does recommend that you begin between 3rd and 5th grade in this curriculum. So she's a rising 4th grader, so we're going to begin right there with her. So she's going to begin with Grammar Island. Now we did start this a little bit at the end of last year because I wanted to see how it would go trying to do this curriculum with all 3 of my children together. And let me tell you, friends, we kind of crashed and burned. I tried doing it with my 4th grader as well as my 8th grader and my 7th grader, and it didn't go so well because the way that Michael Clay Thompson writes is so fantastic and it's so whimsical and it's just awesome. I love every minute of how he puts writing on the page and how he gets on the level of a child. But my 8th grader, who's 14 and just wants to kind of get through grammar, didn't appreciate the whimsy so much. So every time we would talk about something super whimsical, he would kind of like just blow it apart. He just wanted the facts, ma'am. So it didn't really go so well because every time I would get her in that like, wow, whimsy stage, he would like drop a bomb on us. So I am going to actually teach this to my kids, but do it individually for her so that she can enjoy the beauty and the splendor that is this curriculum. I really want her to engage deep in it and really learn to love language arts. So we will be doing this independently together, her and I. So we're going to be starting with Grammar Island. We've already started a bit through it. We are probably, where are we at? We're 64 pages in, but that's probably just a tiny bit of the book. We're about that far into the book. So we've got a lot to go through to finish up Grammar Island. When we're done with grammar, we're going to be moving on to using Practice Island every day. We're going to be doing a sentence in here and doing his amazing, I love the way that he does this, his sentences. So you do 4 different parts of the sentence and you have to decide, you have to find the parts of speech, the parts of the sentence, the phrases, and the clauses. So we will be working on that once we finish with Grammar Island as well. Now, with that being said, I do want to interject here and tell you that when we did our standardized testing at the end of the year, we do standardized testing just to see kind of where our kids are and what they might need support with for the next year. What I noticed on her testing was that she really needed additional support in punctuation practice. I'm not sure why, but I think it was like the comma placements and that sort of thing, as well as making sure that she's using the capital and the period at the end of the sentence. She missed a lot of those when she had to kind of correct the sentence. So we got Fix It Grammar as well. And this really is just 1 sentence a day. So we're just going to add that on top of what we're doing with Michael Clay Thompson to ensure that she's getting that punctuation help that she needs to do really well in her standardized testing this upcoming year. Yes, my friends, I know it's not all about the standardized testing. It's not all about, you know, making sure that she does well on some test. That's not why we do that. We want to make sure that she is a well-rounded student and that she can do everything that she needs to do at least on grade level to be able to be successful in life, and knowing when to use a period and when to use a comma and when to use, you know, all sorts of things like that. When a sentence is really important when you get to college writing. So we want to make sure that she is very fit in that area. So we're going to add Fix It Grammar in there as well for her. After we finish Fix It Grammar, after we finish Grammar Island, we're going to be moving on to Building Language, and this is Michael Clay Thompson's language vocabulary curriculum. I love this curriculum because it uses word parts and it teaches them how to break down different parts of the word to know what it means. That's how good test takers take the SAT and the ACT. That's how they get such good grades on it as well. So I think that this is going to be fantastic with helping my child who wants to be a veterinarian, so she's going to need to go to college, get where she wants to be in life. So I think that this curriculum is fantastic. It's got lots of amazing pictures, and the way that he writes and adds different types of fonts and different types of letter size, and adding the pictures and the bolding and the italices to help keep their attention is fantastic. So I do love that about him. She will also be going through Sentence Island once she finishes Grammar Island. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, after they finish Grammar Island, they then both start Sentence Island and Building Language, that kind of thing. And they also start Practice Island. So I think they start Practice Island in the middle of Grammar Island. But anyway, so this is kind of like a storybook. It's written like a story. And see, it's even written into chapters, chapter 6. And it talks about what makes a good sentence a good sentence. And I think that's so important when it comes to being a fantastic writer. So I think that there holds lots of value in this curriculum as well for her, that we will definitely be making sure that she does that. And here comes the complete whimsy of this program, the poetry, the music of the hemispheres. Lots of people skip this, but I think what they don't recognize is how this reading poetry and understanding how to use literary devices to make your reader feel emotions when you write is so important. If you can make a person feel a certain way just by the words that you choose to put on your page, that's powerful. And if you can command that in your writing, wow, how amazing is that? I want to give my child every gift that I can to make sure that she is successful in life. And if I can give her the ability to write well and use these sort of literary devices to do it well when she writes, I'm going to stop and really live in whimsy with her and work through these things with her. It is worth the time, my friends. So that is her language arts this year. She's also going to be reading through the Mud Trilogy. So I did also get her the Mud Trilogy. She is probably going to devour these books in minutes. If I know her, she's going to get through, that's the parent manual. This is one of the stories. She'll read that in a day, maybe. So she is such a fast reader. She reads on such a high level, thanks to All About Reading, that she is really just going to devour these as fast as she gets her hands on them, I'm sure. I love the way that he writes. His writing is very, it's very whimsical, and it really brings the reader in because it makes them look at the sounds of words and how the sounds relate together to create that emotion like we talked about in the poetry. That is her language arts. Whew. All right. So we're going to be going through that piece by piece. We're not going to be doing everything all year long. You start one curriculum, you finish that part, then you start the next part, then you start the next piece. So it's piece by piece. You're not doing grammar all year long, but you're practicing grammar all year long. And that's hugely important for our kiddos. Next, let's talk about math. So my third grader is a fantastic math student. She is, however, not very confident in math. She's very good at it, but she doesn't think she's very good at it. So, isn't that just an amazing little, dichotomy there? So she is finishing up the gamma level of Math UC. She is probably, I want to say she's on lesson 22-ish or something like that of gamma. So no, she's on lesson 21, I believe. Yep, she's on lesson 21 of gamma. So she's got about 9 lessons to go in this. And then we are moving right along to the delta level. So we are going to take it at her pace. Because of her confidence, we do almost all of the worksheets every week because she doesn't feel she's ready to move on. And whether or not she's ready to move on is not as important as whether or not she feels she's ready to move on. That is the joy of homeschooling. She's not confident enough to move on, and I respect that. So she should have the opportunity to feel confident in her learning. So we just let her continue to work through the problems until she feels confident enough to take the test. And that's a gift all in of itself. So she's doing very well with Gamma and with hopefully through Delta as she continues on through the program. I know she's going to do fantastic. She is an excellent student. She knows her multiplication facts. She can rattle them off like it's nothing. So I am very, very pleased with how she's doing with Math UC. All right, moving right along, let's talk about science. So her science curriculum this year, we have always done science together as a family. And this is the first year that we are not doing science together as a family. And I'm sad because I enjoy so much learning about science with my kiddos and doing the experiments with them. I think that's just so joyful. We love it. Science is their favorite subject. And every year I give them the autonomy to choose what science they're going to choose that year. So the first year that we homeschooled, we were using, I believe we used Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool that year. And I found that that was just way over my kids' head. I want to say my 8th grader was in 4th grade, my 7th grader was in 3rd grade that year, and the baby was just she was just a kindergartner. My 4th grader was just a kindergartner, and it was way over their heads. So we decided we were not going to do that going into the next year. So I found Apologia, and I fell in love with their curriculum, and I let the kids look at all the different, options there were for elementary science. Oh, can you hear the thunder? I let them look through all the options for elementary science, and they chose astronomy. They really wanted to learn astronomy. So we went ahead and got that curriculum for them. They were super excited about it, and they did awesome with it. Last year, we also let them pick which curriculum they wanted to do, and 2 of our kids were really adamant that they wanted to do experiments. So they were really, really excited about being able to do experiments. So we chose chemistry and physics last year. They loved it, absolutely loved it. We finished that up. They did a great job. My 4th grader did a great job. And then we decided that we were going to separate the kids to do middle school science and elementary school science. My 4th grader is not ready for middle school science, and I'm not going to push her. So I, again, pulled up all the Apologia curriculum, and I let her pick. And my little veterinarian wanted to do the animal sciences. So we chose to move forward with Zoology 1, which is the flying creatures of the 5th day. This is the brand new edition that they just put out. So we are going to be working on that. My hope this year is that I can get Zoology 1 and Zoology 2 done in this school year. I'm not going to spend an entire year on flying creatures of the 5th day. We just can't. So what we're going to do is probably get through flying creatures of the 5th day and the swimming creatures of the ocean in this school year. So I've got the text for her, and I've also got her notebooking journal. Now I can see that she is going to need me to sit with her and help her through this if it's anything like last year. So we will be working together through this science curriculum. Look at all these beautiful images in this science curriculum. We are also going to be doing some nature studies. So we have some nature boxes that I've purchased, and we're going to be doing a bunch of different nature walks and hikes, and collecting shells and lots of fun things on the beach. We found some crab shells on the beach last week, and we picked those up, and we're going to be putting them in our nature boxes this year. It's going to be so much fun. I know she's going to love it. So that is going to be her science for this year that she picked. All right, so what's another thing that we're doing for her? Same as my 8th and 7th grader. If you saw that video, we are going to be looking at critical thinking. My 4th grader should be a lawyer. She is so good at figuring out the logical fallacy of an argument and telling you that you're wrong and telling you how your logic is not sound. I love it. And you know, she's 9, so she is great at critical thinking. We want to build those skills. She's going to need lots of critical thinking. If she becomes a veterinarian, she's going to have to figure out those problems and how to solve them really quickly. So we want to give her a good basis in that. And so we're going to be doing some critical thinking activities this year. The other thing that she's going to be doing is, dun, 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 as I try to get it picked up, she is going to be doing Spanish. She's already done 1 year of Spanish previously, and we are going to continue learning about Spanish. Now, I speak some Spanish. I've taken a lot of Spanish in high school and college, but I would not call myself fluent at all. I do think a lot in Spanish. I can speak a lot of Spanish, but I wouldn't call myself fluent. There's a lot of times where I hear people speaking and I'm like, I have no idea what they said. So she's going to be learning through this. I'm going to be helping her through it. And it's just an introductory Spanish course for her. It is book 1. It's probably a lot of things that she's already done throughout her Spanish journey that she's done, but it does come with a workbook for her. It is Song School, so it's got songs as well that will help her to learn the words. So this one is very basic. Hola, adios, el maestro, la maestra, el estudiante, los estudiantes. So it's just very, very basic, right? Chapter 1, first thing you learn. So I think that she's going to have a blast with this. We're going to be incorporating a lot more Spanish in our home because all of my children are taking Spanish this year. So my goal is to build if not trilingual students. I want them to learn multiple languages while they're being homeschooled. So we need to get a start on that, especially for my older students. Now, she is also in our co-op going to be taking violin this year. She is excited about being able to take violin for this school year, and she is very much looking forward. So we're going to be doing that. She may continue to take piano lessons. I'm not sure exactly if we're going to do that as well. We'll see how much time we have to be able to do that. She's also taking a little like Lego club at our co-op that she can hang out with friends and play with Legos, that sort of thing. And that is all of her curriculum for 2023-2024. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's anything that I showed you here that you would love to see a flip through of. I'd be more than happy to create a video for you. All right, my friends, I will see you later. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. We're trying to grow it from when we took our sabbatical last year. All right, my friends, I will see you soon. Goodbye.